Excuse me, Sarah, but would you like to have your fortune told? Of course, but perhaps even a skeptic is willing to take pity on a poor man's ramblings with a gold coin and a moment of their time. Excellent. You will not be disappointed, for this is a new beginning, and what is a beginning but a promise of more to come? Let us not be impatient, for this story can begin any number of ways. A childhood whim, a divine plan, or maybe one man's innocent mistake. Oftentimes it isn't important how it begins, or even why. Just that it does. For you, this gold piece is that marker, the starting point. Where it goes from here, well, that is for you to decide. On the contrary, not every choice is yours to make. Remember that your piece is just one of many. Others will make their own choices. Some of them head for a campfire to the west, where hunters gather to rest. An important meeting is about to take place there. You will do well not to miss it. Oh, and one other thing. This gold piece, this marker you have given me, I do not plan to spend it until you are finished. And if by chance, at the conclusion of your journey, you feel the price was unwarranted, then I will return it to you. The end will be yours to keep.
Don't you see it doesn't matter? Stormcloak or Imperial, it's the King's mood that will decide who rules Skyrim.
So what? The mood is just empty theater. Did anyone think Toreg wouldn't be High King when Islod died? The outcome will be a formality.
Only because we haven't had a true challenger. But the first descendant of Ysgramor since Borges. That changes everything. These pretenders can sit on the throne. They can even wear the jagged crown, but it belongs to her.
Do you think this child will be like Martin Septim and transform into a dragon? How do we even know she has what it takes?
We don't. Blood does not guarantee wisdom. But it can unite the people under a single banner, and right now, that is what Skyrim needs.
And can you prove this girl is who you say?
The attempts on her life is proof enough.
Proof of something, yes. Whether it is the purity of her blood, or the skill of your tongue, that remains to be seen. Forge the axe with her blood. Slay the beast who cannot be slain. Then we'll talk.
You! Are you really the one? Are you Dragonborn? I knew it! They speak of your prowess from the forests of Riften to the hills of Markarth. But, one can never be sure if they are idle boasts. You fit the description. Both of the people and the song. Still, you being here, sure as bones, it can only be the work of the gods. She is a descendant of Borges, of that I'm certain. A bastard child he sired in Cyrodiil, before it was consumed by the wild hunt. We keep her hidden for her safety. When it comes time for her identity to be revealed, it will shake the very foundation of the realm. But we need arms, and we need soldiers, and for that we need proof. Kris, a former Imperial soldier, but the leader of a growing faction who are loyal to neither the Stormcloaks nor the Empire. Like many in this war, they despise the political maneuvering and thirst for power that plague both sides. What they want is to serve a cause that is noble. A ritual to prove one's blood. Legend has it that the old Atmorans would prove one's lineage by reforging the blades of their ancestors. As the blade was quenched in one's own blood, they say only a true heir could restore the weapon to its original edge. However, in the case of royalty, the legend goes a step further. They speak of a great dragon with fangs as hard as Stalrim, and only one with Ysgramor's valor can slay it. I understand your reluctance, but this is bigger than the both of us. The stability of Skyrim for the entire era is at stake. I trust you will do what is right. Falatild will guide you. You can seek the healer's help as well, but his role is for the ritual, as to quench a blade requires an ocean of blood. Falatild!
Yes, my Thane?
Inform the Dragonborn of what we know regarding the axe.
As you command, my Thane. Greetings, Dragonborn. I'm Falatild, housecarl to Thane Larsden. Sorry for the short introduction, but we don't have time for pleasantries. Old habits. Let me get to the point. We've obtained a clue as to the whereabouts of the axe. It's a historical journal detailing information on the burial of Nordkin, primarily those who were born under less than ideal circumstances.
In other words, it's a mausoleum for royal bastards. Quite fitting, considering our queen is the same. With all due respect.
Don't apologize to me, my Thane. But as I was saying, it makes sense that the axe would be buried with the people for whom it was designed. The bastards, as my Thane so eloquently put it. As for the journal, it was said to be at the College of Winterhold in their special archives. No, as a matter of fact, we already hired a thief to steal it. Problem is, she double-crossed us and fenced the journal. So our first task is to interrogate the thief. She's currently being held in Castle Dower Dungeon for murder, framed most likely by whoever bought her out, and now she's about to be silenced. Which means we need to hurry and meet with her before the executioner does.
Dragonborn. Seems the steed has brought us both here, as instruments in a greater plan. May the Lord, through victory or defeat, plant the seeds of peace. The Thane was born under the sign of the lover, no doubt. Graceful, but passionate about his cause. The housecarl I know little about, other than she refuses to allow me to heal her. During my time wandering the military camps, I heard many grumblings from the disenchanted. They spoke of a faction of peace, united under the banner of the true heir of Ysgramor. Still, I never sought out the Thane. However, as the Temple of Kinnereth is in Whiterun, it was only a matter of time before our paths crossed. For you see, the ritual to prove the Queen's legitimacy requires a healer. And thus, the stars guided him to the temple. And to me. From what I gather, she's a child. And for that reason, she's quite vulnerable. It's also why the Thane keeps her location and identity a secret. And why her presence is not required here. Like Elisov, I suspect her readiness will depend on her advisors. But my presence is not in support of her cause. Whether this ritual proves her bloodline is irrelevant. My only concern is that she survives it. I'm afraid I do not know. As Kris said, the king's mood is but a formality. Yet the name Ysgramor is revered by every Nord in Skyrim, and not even someone like Ulfric could deny them consideration.
His spells are powerful, but his allegiance is to the Empire. I don't think we should trust him, but the Thane begs to differ. I was hunting a saber cat. The cat, as it turns out, was hunting the Thane. Fortunately, I was faster. I believe my Thane left out one detail. This axe is not just handed down from the ancestors of Borgas. It is forged from his very bones, and its blade can only be quenched by the blood of his kin. He was consumed by the wild hunt, but legend has it that many loyal Nords ventured to Cyrodiil and retrieved what was left of his remains. A king's bone was forged into a weapon, so his descendants could one day avenge him. For the second part of the legend says this: when the hunt was finished, only one remained, a beast, and only a king's blade can slay it. He once served under Balgruf the Greater. Like the Jarl, he didn't want to take sides. Unlike the Jarl, he was compelled to take action. He can be overzealous at times, but I like to believe that as long as I'm by his side, no harm can come to him. Yes, without the presence of the court, I have to serve as his housecarl, his advisor, his companion, and his cook. It's a duty I take pride in. Wait, hold on, Dragonborn. I think it's best you go in there alone. She doesn't know you, and it'll come as less of a threat. Thank you. To be honest, I should have told you sooner, but I guess the urgency wasn't there until now. All we need to find out is who she sold the journal to. I'll meet you back here when you're finished.
Every day.
Well, that was easy. Cry for help and the White Knights come running to the rescue. Of course, I could have been out of here days ago, but I figured I'd wait for some hero to help me distract the guards. That's where you come in. Oh? Works for me, Sunshine. Got a better chance going through you than Ottar's axe. So draw your weapon or shut up. I'm getting out of here. If you aren't going to help, then stay and keep Yartor company. Well, in that case, maybe I ought to sit my rear end back in this cage. You aren't with the Brotherhood, are you? I don't suppose they ask questions. So I guess what it comes down to is this. You need me, and I sort of need you, but not really. Want my help? It's gonna cost you. Don't want my help? It's gonna cost you more. Because I'm getting out of here one way or another, and I suggest you make it easier on the both of us. It's as good as giving me the key. But I can't just walk out of here dressed like this. We have to get my stuff, too. There's the passageway 2 cells down. I can tell by the way the air comes through the wall. Probably got a shadow mark on it, too. You go head off the guard and just keep flapping your gums. Then follow me down the passageway. Alright, got my gear, and my picks. But let's not start polishing each other's daggers just yet. Still gotta find our way topside. Yes! Freedom! Smell that fresh air? Finally, I've got enough space to stretch my arms right into someone's pocket. Not yours, though. You've proven more than resourceful, and if we work together, you might prove invaluable as well. The name's Morndus, like the day. Give me enough time and I'll steal the other 6. About the journal? Yeah, I stole it. So what? Someone pays me to steal something, I steal it for them.
If you're interested, traveler.
No way. That's bad for business, and a good way to get yourself killed. It's hard enough escaping the guard. Look, I'm pretty awful with voices, for a blind girl anyway, so I have a system. I told them to have a man waiting for me at the docks. He'd have a satchel with 3 stones inside, and a coin purse with my payment. Then I lift the purse and put the journal in the satchel. So I did my job. But I'll tell you what, why don't you take me to your boss? Let's sort this out, one way or the other.
Good, everyone's here. And you even brought the thief. Excellent.
The thief wants to know what in oblivion this is all about. The job was taken care of weeks ago.
Is that so? Because we wouldn't be having this conversation if you did.
Whatever. I'm only responsible for 2 things. Stealing your item and making sure your man pays me. All the other stuff is your job.
You flippant little wretch. Do you even realize what you've done? You've jeopardized the very future of this province!
Easy, love. Anger will do us no good at this point.
Fine. But I was waiting at the docks for you. I still have both the coin purse and the satchel, and I never saw you once. However, let's say, for a moment, that you're telling the truth. This man you speak of, I suppose you wouldn't know what he looked like?
He kept his coin purse on his right hip. By the way it sagged, it probably was about a week away from splitting. He was about your height, but he had short strides and a bad knee. Maybe from fighting, but probably from age. But yeah, I haven't the slightest clue what he looked like.
Then what good are you?
My Thane, this wasn't a total loss. We know someone is shadowing us, or perhaps even has someone on the inside. It's too bad you're blind, thief. All we really needed was someone to read the journal. That's where the value lies.
Yeah, well, I can't be blamed for that. Although your lover might find a way.
Damn, these wretched thieves. If only we could operate out in the open. In any case, I need another favor. A small one, this time. I hired 2 adventurers to help us with extracting the axe. Friends of yours, I believe. They both came highly recommended. I sent them off on an errand to the local blacksmith. It would save me time if the 4 of you could check on one final lead. I thank you, Dragonborn. Valgus and I will see if we can find out who that person is who stole our journal. We won't give up just yet. But I digress. It's a bit far-fetched, but I met a Stormcloak in Rorikstead who hinted we might find what we're looking for at Orphan Rock. I'm afraid I have no choice but to take the thief at her word. The description is vague, but it may match someone in our group. Remember, not a word of this should be spoken to anyone. Take Falatil with you. Should you succeed, she'll know where to find me.
Skjan, think about it for a second. You're a bard, right? What's more precious to a bard than his hands?
Well, in my case, it would be my face, which is precisely why I don't like helmets. But I see what you're getting at. No hands, no music.
Exactly. And a bound sword is so much more comfortable in your palm. It's like holding a cloud if clouds were sharp and made to cut people.
Yeah, except you have to be a mage to wield one. What do you think of this mace? Seems fairly balanced.
How should I know? They all look the same to me. And by that I mean extremely heavy. Hey, I was wondering when you would show up. I bet you didn't expect to see me here, given how much I loathe politics. But I assure you I am acting strictly in my own interests. So what if Thane Larsen wants to overthrow everything? I mean, it's not like the Thalmor gave me a better offer.
You two know each other. Small world. But seeing as I'm at the center of it, it's natural for all of you to gravitate toward me. Anyways, we're finished here. Doesn't look like there's anything that's better than what we already have. So, do we know where we're headed next? Supposedly there's some barrow somewhere full of things that only I can kill. Good question. Usually it's because there's a lot of other things that need killing too. Things that are beneath me. Anyways, I guess it doesn't matter where we're going, since you're leading the way. Just be sure to take plenty of breaks.
It shouldn't take us more than a couple days to reach Riverwood, even on foot. We should spend the night there and head for Orphan Rock in the morning.
Right, because the last thing we want to do is walk into a haunted Nord ruin at night. Seems to me that's the best way to avoid ghosts. Well, the imaginary ones anyway. The real ones don't really care what time it is.
This would be so much easier if Helgen wasn't burned to the ground. You know, I didn't really mind the dragons all that much until they started inconveniencing me.
Orgnar. Orgnar. Are you listening? The ale is going bad. We need to get a new batch. Did you hear me? I guess you don't have potatoes in your ears after all. Just make sure we get a fresh batch in soon. You're that visitor been poking around. We don't get a lot of travelers here in Riverwood.
Yes, I've had quite the journey. I'd better get some sleep.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Friends of yours?
I've never seen them before, but look, what do they have in common?
Oh,
You
what
mean
happened?
besides the fact that they're all wearing matching outfits?
They're all Nords. It seems our enemies finally have a face. What's wrong? You look troubled by something. So tonight it was your turn. I should have warned you, but I was hoping you'd be spared. Thane Larsden says the dreams are a lesson. That the choices we are asked to make show us the price of success.
What happened?
What do you think it meant? This dream of yours. I sacrificed my old life for this one, but it was out of love. If I had to sacrifice my body, it would likely be for the same cause. I don't know how it is for you, but all these heavy things, war, life, death, they all seem trivial in comparison. Right, the appearance of these assassins means we're on the right track. We should hurry to Orphan Rock.
Do you think our party is balanced enough? I mean, Falithel is a ranger, but it would have been nice to take Valdis along.
While we aren't fighting in the war, we're technically rebels. The healer doesn't wish to choose sides, or so he'd like us to believe.
Sounds like you don't trust him.
I don't think we're in a position to trust anyone, something my Thane often forgets when in the healer's company.
You're not jealous of him, are you?
Don't be absurd. Let's keep moving.
Well, this looks like an ordinary cave if I ever saw one, and I've seen at least 5.
Look, fresh corpses. They're wearing the same garb as those assassins.
I've got an idea. Why don't we wait for them to retrieve the axe for us, and then just take it from whoever comes running out of the cave?
We don't know if any of them survived. Let's press on. It looks like these barrels are empty, and the sacks don't have much in terms of food. So either they've abandoned this pursuit, which I doubt, or they're coming back with reinforcements. What did you find? Let me see that. The blood of Skyrim? Our foe now has a face and a name. In any case, the graveyard is probably on the other side of that wall.
And where is this axe going to be? Don't tell me we're going to have to dig up coffins.
I don't know, but I have a feeling that's the least of our worries.
Did the 3 of you hear something? I thought I heard a woman calling to me.
Probably just the wind.
Trolls, blood, look at this place.
Wisps, skeletons, and headstones. I think I need to raise my rates.
Where do you think the axe is?
There'll be plenty of time to look after we've cleared this place. Ready your arms. By Lorcan's eyes, we've done it! After all this time, the axe of the bastard kings! I just wish my Thane were here to share this moment. Yes, it's beyond brittle, and in no shape to slay the beast. We'll need to find a smith with experience quenching blades and blood. For now, let me give you this as a reward. It's a good bow, and it served me well while I was Thane Larsden's housecarl. I hope it serves you just as faithfully until next we meet.
If the Dragonborn gets your bow, what do I get? Aside from your undying love and admiration.
If I recall correctly, the both of you were paid in advance. But I'm sure the Thane will find a way to compensate you if you wish to help us further.
I don't think so. This was fun, but I feel a nice warm fire calling me back into Four Shields. Not to mention Julienne Lviv. The poor girl is probably a wreck given how long it's been since she's last seen my face. What about you, Elf? Where are you headed next?
Well, I was going to follow you, but none of you are going to spend all day staring at fires and curvy wenches. I could do that at home, conceivably.
Not every adventure happens in some moldy old cave.
You keep saying that, but people at the Four Shields tend to just mope around, drink, and feel miserable. That's not my idea of an adventure.
You just have to appreciate the part of the inn that has me in it.
Alright. I call the meeting of the heroes of Riverwood to order. Dorothy, the alchemist.
That's right. Got a pretty full stock of potions and alchemy reagents.
Embry the inebriated.
A what?
Stump the dog. Frodnar the zombie.
Release me! Ah! Get away!
I need some more ale.
It always ends this way. The heroes of Riverwood can never sit still for more than a minute. So, what brings you to Riverwood, my thing? Come to take your house girl on more adventures? Huh, do you mean like two heroes on equal footing? You're being too modest, my liege. But maybe someday I will be the hero of Hyrule, or the champion of elsewhere, and then we can talk about who squires for whom. How could I not? 5 assassins dressed in blood? It's the talk of the town. I heard my hero was quite gallant in vanquishing them. I feel terrible about the whole thing, but I can't always be here to protect them. So instead I've taken it upon myself to train everyone, but so far only the children and Embry have accepted my offer. Most days we just play tag. Have you been following me? Yes, Jocelyn told me there was a witch there who was trying to get her to join their coven. I was going to give her a very stern warning to leave my sister alone, but when I got there wasn't a single witch. Instead, I found a group of Nords standing outside a cave. Now that you mention it, I think there was someone wearing that armor, but my focus was on the 2 men up front. One of them was wearing mage robes and he was arguing with another person not wearing mage robes. The one with the robes wanted to go back inside. My memory's kind of fuzzy, so I don't remember much, except the mage had a ring with a wolf on it.
Tell me, girl, this mage you speak of, did he walk with a limp?
Huh. Why yes, he did sort of walk funny. I thought he could have just twisted his ankle. The terrain is very rocky.
Not likely. The wolf ring is proof enough, but the limp seals it. You're lucky to be alive, girl. This man is as wicked as the fox is cunning. As for these men at the inn, the ones who call themselves pure-blooded Nords, they are his victims, and their blood is tainted. The wolf lives inside them. The moon calls to it and it rips apart their flesh from within. But the worst part is the man does not die. He is forced to relive this horror over and over, and be the one to deal with the consequences. I do no such thing. If I pity anything, it is not the beast, but the soul they torture. It is likely some tribute to whatever dark god is responsible for this disease. I don't know if the ring itself holds any power, just that the one who wears it makes beasts of men, and must die for this foul sorcery. Even in the darkest circles, the curse of the wolf blood is not given to all. Perhaps it is the same with these men. And as the girl said, there seem to be 2 factions within this cult. Those that follow the bearer of the ring, and those that kneel to the one who commands him. That's none of your concern. Your own interest in this man should be enough for 2 predators to work together. In the wild, when the lion and the saber cat hunt the same deer, they end up fighting each other, only to let the deer escape. The old god, you know, the one the Imperials called Julianos, he gave us wisdom so we did not act so foolish. This prey cannot be allowed to escape. But first I need to know one thing. When these men left Orphan Rock, did they go west or east?
Actually, they went in different directions. The dashing north went east, but the one in the ropes went west.
Good. This means he and his wolves have returned to their lair. I will not have to kill as many Nords as I thought.
If the mage went west, then perhaps my hero and I will go east. We'll track down this other man and ask him why he's causing trouble in Riverwood.
Stupid dog.
Fine. You two can go wherever you want, but my business is with the wolves. If you're going east, girl, then go to Nilheim. I have heard one of these false sons of Skyrim lives in the tower. Your man may be with him.
Huh. This mage seems like a very bad man, but I get the feeling the handsome Nord is the one putting everyone in danger. But as always, I will let you decide. East or west? Neither do I. I'm also curious as to why he's so intent on hunting werewolves. It isn't fair for him to walk away without telling us. Alright, we're all going together. But first we should introduce ourselves. My name is Zora Fairchild, daughter of Riverwood.
I don't care.
Well, that was rude. My hero, are you sure you don't want to go east? The weather there seems less cloudy.
Food stops. The wolves have a larger appetite than most. If they are not fed, they may turn on their master.
I hear growling, and this time I'm sure it's not my stomach.
The beasts are near, girl. Do not lose your nerve now. I will not stop to save you. Anya! By Eastmere, you're alive!
I'm sorry, husband, but I am far from it. The beast inside me, it rules my mind.
What are you saying?
You know what I ask of you. The same peace that you have given to the others.
No, you ask too much. The gods, they have returned you to me. I will not spit on their blessing.
No, husband. This is no blessing. It is a curse. You know this to be true.
I don't want to lose you.
I'm sorry, my love, but you already have. But you're right about one thing. The gods have granted us a favor. They let me see you once more, if only to say goodbye.
Sovngarde is not good enough for you.
But you are, my love, and always will be.
Goodbye. When the two of us joined the Blood of Skyrim, we did it because we believed in Gran. But the ones he takes counsel from, this man whose eyes are the void itself, not even Ysgramor himself could avoid his taint. Leave me. I would like some time alone with my wife.
Do you think Aldvar is going to be okay? Yeah, it was a stupid question. We will have to carry on without him. Maybe we can find out more about this group if we go to Nilheim. Neither the mage nor the one called Gran was at either location, but we did find out some valuable information. We should take these items to your friend, the Thane. Do you have any idea where he might be? Then all we can do is wait, and it shouldn't be long. It's not like you are in the famous Dragonburn or anything. They will know where you are. After a long day in the dungeon, a warm drink and a warm bed sounds good, doesn't it? The badmen are still out there, but after today they'll think twice before attacking our town again. And for your service, I think it's time I made you an honorary hero of Riverwood. Yes, I imagine you would be. You will go down in history with names like Stamp the War Mammoth, Frodner the Fire Weaver, and even Zora the Diamond. It's a much better reward than gold, don't you think?